Hello everybody, thank you for coming onto my channel. For today's video, I would like to give my comments on the reasons why UMNO is supporting the bid for Najib's pardon, as well as his bid for the so-called house arrest. Now, this is a very important issue to discuss, and I will present my analysis, which is not really being spoken or being written about in the media. Now, first of all, we hear of the rally on the 6th of January, of which PAS is also joining in, and that UMNO will be there to support Najib Tun Razak for the so-called house arrest issue. Now, many citizens of Malaysia are very concerned and are very worried. They are very worried, or they're very concerned with regard to 2 points. Number one, some citizens are saying that, well, is UMNO trying to destabilize the unity government by supporting Najib? Now, this is a question that most people are trying to say that UMNO is not really sincere in joining the unity government. That's number one. Number two, some Malaysians are also saying that the unity government is not doing enough, and therefore somehow are in cahoots with UMNO with regard to the freeing of Najib, or with making his life much easier with regard to the house arrest. That is also their opinion. And then there is also the idea of the third opinion, in which where is justice in Malaysia? If someone who is blatantly doing wrong are being let off simply by some sort of popular demand, or because their parties are in power or in government. So these are all the worries of which Malaysian citizens are having, and rightfully so. This is a turning point, in one sense, in our country. However, I am not really that worried as a citizen, simply because I am able to look into the inner workings of UMNO from afar by analyzing that a lot of the drama that is occurring is something that is not really seen by the rakyat. Now, for this video, I will present 4 groups of what I think exist from my own finding, or from my own reflection. Within UMNO itself, that is competing against each other for totally different purposes. Now, 4 of this group, of which 3 don't really care whether Najib gets out or not, but they're just using it. They're just using the Najib issue. Only 1 group perhaps care that Najib's released and that Najib may come back to power. So let's move on to what my analysis shows. Now, I feel that there is a group in UMNO that is trying to show that they are all in support of Najib being pardoned, being released, or being house arrest, so that they could have another power or leverage to take out Zahid Hamidi as the president. I'm sure that this group is some of those who have been sacked by Zahid, and also have been put in limbo, such as in suspended situation or in suspension, and they are not being able to do anything about it. So by supporting Najib, they have a leverage of which there is a kind of another authority for them to ask for forgiveness or ask for help, in order to make sure that Zahid maybe let them come back into UMNO, and then they could continue their work to get the present president of UMNO out. So that is one of the group that is clearly supporting Najib, but really they are looking after their own skins. We see that some of these people were in the Perikatan National Government at one time, of which Najib was put in prison during that time. And they did not seem to be doing anything much. So much of these people are now, I think, actively whispering here and whispering there in order to make sure that they get a chance to take the president of UMNO out of office via elections or other means. So that is the first group. Hi everybody. If you would like to own my book and have my signature as well as a personal note from me, please follow the instruction. Thank you. Now, with regard to the second group of UMNO members, I feel that this group actually wants to be in power with the Perikatan Nasional. Maybe with or without Bersatu, because I think this group may have a problem with Bersatu, but I think most of them can work because they have done it before and they have been appointed by Muhyiddin to ministerial posts and things like that. So I think this group actually is interested not to take out Zahid Hamidi, but to take out Anwar Ibrahim. And so they want to put in a Perikatan National Government. So if they are able to leverage using Najib, and that is why I think PAS is joining in, because PAS is very friendly to several members of which have been sacked, of which have been suspended with regards to their disloyalty to UMNO Baru, as well as their disloyalty to Zahid Hamidi. So the rakyat need to look that this rally, as well as the support for Najib, has a deeper meaning than just about what we call justice for Najib. It's a political maneuver, and both of these groups actually do not really care whether Najib comes out or not. They don't really care whether Najib gets the house arrest or not. All they want to do is to destabilize Zahid Hamidi and even the government or the unity government, so that they could convince UMNO to pull out and join Perikatan Nasional with GPS and GRS, and they would already have a majority, not that big, but it's still the majority. And so they can then immediately form or come into power. And that is why PAS has always been saying that they can become the government before the next election. So that is one very dangerous group. So we can see that the first group wants Zahid out, but the second group wants Anwar out by using the Najib issue. Now then, there is also the third group. Now this third group in UMNO actually wants Najib out. This is the only group that wants Najib out. They want him to be pardoned. They want him back as the Prime Minister of Malaysia. They don't just want him to be President of UMNO. They want him to be the Prime Minister of Malaysia. So with regards to the second group, of which they want to work with the Perikatan Nasional, definitely the attraction there is that UMNO will be appointed as the Prime Minister, but definitely not Zahid Hamidi. It would be somebody else. But here in this third group, I feel that somehow they will engineer it in such a way, if it is possible, and everything is possible in Malaysia, for Najib to be back at the helm as the Prime Minister for the second time of Malaysia. So this is one group which I think it's a very difficult thing to achieve, but these are the real Najib loyalists. They are the only ones who want Najib out, while the other two don't really care whether Najib comes out. Now with regard to the last group, or the fourth group, this is a group I feel, do not really want to have Najib out. Because if Najib comes out, then there is another power. If there are two powers, it's like in a bee nest or in an ant nest, you have two queens. You cannot have two queens, you can only have one. And so if Najib is able to give orders here and there and have influence to make deals and things like that, it will definitely jeopardize whoever is in power. So my suspicion is that there is a group, and this is the fourth group, that don't really mind if Najib doesn't come out, because it would present a huge problem. But they must be seen to be loyal to Najib. If not, the other members will say that they are already being taken up by Anwar Ibrahim's team or being subservient to the DAP. So it is my reading that this group needs to show that they are also aggressively seeking the freedom of Najib Tun Razak, when in fact I feel that their real agenda is simply to have a status quo, meaning this is fine, but they have to show the thing that they are, or seemingly to be wanting Najib to be pardoned, and also wanting him to come out. Question is, if he comes out, what role will he play? And so this is the important aspect that we need to understand. So with that, I hope Malaysians can understand that this is an internal struggle within UMNO. And all we citizens have to do is just watch the show. Because it doesn't really jeopardize us in any way significantly. It's just what they are trying to do. And if we are intelligent enough, we should allow UMNO to fight for Najib Tun Razak, because in one sense, Najib Tun Razak was their leader. Whether they like Najib Tun Razak or they dislike Najib Tun Razak, the narrative here is that you do not desert your leader. And the narrative here is that, well, UMNO did not do anything wrong. There was no corruption that was done. It was Jolo. Jolo was the one that has caught Najib. Najib is the victim. And so that is the narrative that they need to propagate to their members, so that they can have their respect back, and they can also regroup and even bid for power. Now, in 2016, whether Barisan Nasional will be with the coalition of Pakatan Harapan, that is still up for grabs. It could happen after the election, it could happen before the election, or it could happen before the election, then after the election it will be a different story. I mean, all things are possible. So for me, whether UMNO is in a sense loyal or not loyal, this is simply a working relationship. It is working now for Barisan Nasional to be with Pakatan Harapan, and we should be thankful that it is at the moment. And in 2016, if Barisan Nasional feels their best strategy is with Pakatan Harapan, then so be it. But if they think that they are strong enough to go against Pakatan Harapan and Perikatan Nasional, well then, bring it on. That is not a problem. So I don't see what the problem is with UMNO rallying behind Najib Tun Razak at the demonstration or in their press statement. It doesn't really matter. It's just a tactic and a strategy and an opportunity, and whatever works, works. So we also need to be in that same frame of mind to look at it tactically and not look at it emotionally and follow simplistic principles of so-called loyalty or goodness or righteousness. In politics, it's about what works, what can work, and what others feel that they can work together on. With that, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, saudara-saudari sekalian. Jika anda ingin memiliki buku saya Antara Sunnah Melayu dan Sunnah Rasul, ulasan tentang isu-isu agama, isu politik dan juga isu pendidikan di dalam Malaysia, sila ikuti arahan di dalam poster berikut. saya akan menandatangani setiap naskah buku yang dibeli, dan saya harap tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, saudara-saudari sekalian, maju jaya bersama Malaysia Baru. Sekian, terima kasih.